Hello, Scott here again, ready for another Arcadia game deep dive. On last week's video, we looked at the first game I ever made, Tonal Recall, and this week we'll take a peek at the most recent one, Rhythm Runner. But first, a note about musical notation. There are two basic components of sheet music, position and duration. Where the note is on the staff tells you which button to press, and the shape of the note tells you when. If this box here, or a measure, was a second long, and you would just have this whole note on it, you would play a note once. If there were half notes, you would play two with an equal amount of silence between them. You can cut it down even more and mix and match, but what matters is that you're dividing when to make noise within a fixed amount of time. If you change the length of time, the melody stays the same, but speeds up or slows down. Relative time division can be a complex concept for a beginner to grasp, but it's not hard to do. Rhythm games come in and out of style, but they have a basic conceit. So let's just get it started and you'll see what I'm talking about. So notes come down this lane, and when they get to the bass, you press the corresponding button. Just by playing, you're kind of keeping the proper time without really having to think about it. Without having to intellectualize it, you're seeing the quarter notes are closer together and whole notes have a lot of space after them. What's great about Rhythm Runner is that when you're doing well, it feels like you're really playing music, which, you essentially are. You're hitting the right notes at the right time. The catch is that success only requires an implicit understanding of notation. You're playing them because the notes are moving, and these dots tell you when it's time to hit them. An explicit understanding of notation would require you to hit them at the right time when they aren't moving, but that would be another game altogether. So then, the purpose of this game is to focus on hand-eye coordination and internalize a sort of standardized rhythm and just generally become comfortable with the different types of notes. And it's difficult. If you haven't spent some time in a game like Repeater First, having these notes come flying at you can be entirely overwhelming. I had a really hard time playing it when I built the first prototype, so it's important for you to kind of ease in. In all the other music games, if you succeed in a round, it adds another note to the next one so that after 7, you're playing a full key. That doesn't really work in Rhythm Runner because it becomes too fast and it's not very fun. You gotta ease into it. Since we're talking about increasing complexity in 2-dimension, position, and notation, each round needs to last a little longer to give you some variation in note combinations. Let's take a look at the code and see what I mean. Round 1 is always a single whole note and picks from one of the 3 middle tones. Round 2 is 2 measures long, and it gives either a whole note or 2 half notes, and it will give you another, right? So if it starts with B, C, and D, round 2 will give you B, C, D, and E. Round 3 is 4 measures long, and the combinations start to become more complex. You have a 25% chance of getting a whole note, 2 half notes, a half and 2 quarters, or 2 quarters and a half. You'll notice that there aren't 4 quarters because those come into play in the next round. If we go all the way to the final round, you can see that you won't get any whole notes at all, a 5% chance of 2 half notes, 20% chance it's 4 quarter notes, and a 15% split between any combination of quarter, half, or dotted half notes among all the different tones in a given key. To get to this point, you have to successfully pass 19 measures. So let's just give it a go and see if I can make it all the way to the top. This might take a little while, so thanks for watching, and join us next time for another game deep dive.